Oh, hi friends. It's me, Miss Nikki. Well, I was just doing a little science and getting ready to help my friend out, Stella, the scientist. You see, Stella has a theory that her baby brother just might be a duck. You heard me. Yep, a duck. Quack, quack. Well, and Stella's not just any old sister. Stella's a scientist. She's a person who tries to figure things out about the world and how they work. Stella asks questions. She does research, observations, collects evidence, and ultimately tries to answer questions about, well, anything that people wonder about. Well, right now, Stella's wondering if her little brother is a duck. So I was going to help her. Hey, why don't you join us? Come on, sit down. Let's figure it out together. Now, Stella is a real serious scientist. So she uses scientist words. She uses words like hypothesis. A hypothesis is just a really good guess, and it's based on information that you know. Well, Stella knows a lot about ducks, and she thinks that her brother just might be one. Stella, like any good scientist, also does a lot of research. And that means that she carefully studies and investigates so that she can discover and explain any new knowledge or information. And every good scientist has to collect evidence. Evidence shows that something is true or not true. It's just information or data. And so you, Stella, and me, we are going to do some research together and collect some evidence to see if Stella's hypothesis is true. Is her brother really a duck? My Brother the Duck by Pat Zietlaw Miller and illustrated by Daniel Weissman. We have to thank our scientists and book friends at Chronicle Books for sharing this great story with us. I'm Stella Wells, fledgling scientist. Scientists notice things, and so do I. Like the fact that my baby brother just might be a duck. I told you. I spotted something odd before he was born. Dad told Mom, "You're waddling. You must be having a duck." She was waddling. She was walking like that. And they laughed. And Stella said, I didn't. She didn't laugh. A baby was bad enough. A duck was unacceptable. Research was obviously required. So when my parents returned from the hospital, holding something wrapped in a blanket, I took notes. Every good scientist takes notes. The thing was scrawny. It was yellow. Its nose was flat and broad. It looked like a duck. But that was only a hypothesis. That's our word. To prove it, I'd need evidence. Mom showed me the bundle. Look, Stella, it's your baby brother, Drake. The name seemed noteworthy. That means she wrote it down in her notebook. Turns out Drake is a fancy word for a boy duck. My first piece of evidence. Check. As soon as I wrote it down, Drake started squawking. Man, could that kid quack. Wah! Wah! A second piece of evidence. Check. But scientists can't just wing it. They have to gather facts. Mommy was waddling. Brother's name is Drake. Kind of yellow. And it quacks. I don't know. It sounds like Stella's hypothesis might be true. So I visited my friend Carla Martinez. She's made volcanoes erupt, pickles glow, and paper clips float. We have a new baby, Carla. His name is Drake. I think he's a duck. Carla considered my statement. Male ducks are called drakes, she conceded. Does he quack? You should hear him. We heard him, remember? He was like, wah! Does he have feathers? Not yet, but he's fairly fuzzy. Does he have a bill? A bill. The duck's bill. I stopped to think. Drake's nose was definitely not normal. I guess so, I said. Carla raised an eyebrow. Scientists don't guess. Further research was obviously required. Back home, Drake looked more like a duck than ever. You want to see him? I'm thinking Stella's hypothesis is right. That looks like a duck baby to me. Incredible, I said. But inconclusive, Carla replied. We must consult an expert. Well, inconclusive just means that we can't really know if it's actually true or not. We chose Principal Kowalski. She drinks coffee from a duck-shaped mug. She keeps rubber ducks on her desk. She even calls, "Make way for young ducklings," when our class walks down the hall. She seems like she knows a lot about ducks. Miss Kowalski, I said, we were wondering, how can you tell if a baby is really, a duck? You know what they say. If it looks like a duck and it sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck. There it was. There it was. An expert had confirmed my hypothesis. I, said Stella, was related to a duck. A waddling, quacking, broad-billed baby duck. I thought about it all day. Where would we go? What would we do? It wasn't so bad, really. We could still go fishing. We could share a snack. I guess maybe having a baby duck brother is not so bad. Drake's feathers would add a certain flair to every family photo. Can you imagine if that was your family photo? Plus, we'd never ever lose a game of duck, duck, goose. She's being kind of silly now. I hurried home, ready to be the best big sister a duck ever had. Drake was in his bassinet. He looked rounder and smoother than before. His nose seemed almost normal. That didn't fit the bill. Was all my research wrong? Just then, Dad waddled by. Remember, Mom was waddling in the beginning. Now Dad's waddling. I dropped my notebook and stared. Long, skinny legs? Check. Wide, webbed feet? Check. The biggest bill I've ever seen? Check. Pool time, Daddy announced. I need to get my wings wet. And with those words, I knew. Stella Wells, fledgling scientist, had another hypothesis to test. What do you think her new hypothesis is? Remember, our hypothesis is a really good guess based on information that you know. Well, we know her daddy was waddling. We know he had long legs, like a duck. We also know that he had the longest bill ever. So maybe the baby wasn't a duck, but maybe Stella's daddy was a duck. Well, we don't have time to do another investigation, scientists, but I want to know what you think about Stella's daddy being a duck. And hey, by the way, what did you conclude? What was your final answer? Was her baby brother really a duck? Well, that's enough science for me. Gotta clean up the lab. Until next time, my friends. Bye.